The Coug can't suck it. Of course, we got beef. But the Coug's all up in arms about what? Pat McAfee? Don't come here with your arrogant anti-American stupidity and make us have to listen to you simply because Pat McAfee did what Pat McAfee does. I eliminated the Coug from having any say in anything the great state of Indiana. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Those arrogant pricks from New York needed to be sent back. In the words of the great Pat McAfee, suck it. You know, for those of you that really don't understand what a basketball state is, understand this. In 49 other states, it's just basketball. And here, it's a religion. And the other night, Saturday night, after the Pacers got it done and kicked the living hell out of Knicks, see what I did there? I was at a wedding, and I had to drive my mom downtown. My 90 or 89-year-old mother, she's 29, what the hell? And her fiance, we had to go back downtown. I had to drive them. I drove, and the place was madness. The place was chaos. The place was nuts. It was about an hour after the game, the clinching game, sends the Pacers, first time in 25 years, to the NBA Finals, and it was so much fun. People everywhere, honking horns, yelling, screaming, roll down the windows. You could hear it. People walking around in Pacers gear. It's fun, man. And I've always said we got the 500, we got IU, we got the Colts, we got that. But there is nothing better than when the town comes alive with the Pacers in the playoffs. We're not Chicago. Big events don't get swallowed up by the big city. But, of course, we got beef. A couple games ago, Pat McAfee decided, well, he was asked to get on the phone, on the PA, on the mic, on whatever the hell you call it, and do a Royal Rumble. And he did. He did what Pat McAfee did. Now, I'm going to go into and show you what Pat did and then give you the Coug, Johnny Cougar Mellencamp's response. Here's Pat Mac.
Indianapolis, Indiana. We got some big wigs from the big city in the building. Spike Lee is here. Ben Stiller is here. Timothy Chalamet is here. Let's send these sons of bitches back to New York with their ears ringing. Let's turn this shit on!
Now, I don't give a damn what anybody says. Those arrogant pricks from New York needed to be sent back. Here, though, is the Coug, Johnny Cougar Mellencamp, all curmudgeon-y, cigarette-smoking clown. I was embarrassed when someone under whose direction I don't know called out some of the people who had made the trip to New York to support their team and in turn support our team. The audience booed these people. I'd say that was not Hoosier hospitality. One could only say it's poor sportsmanship. I was not proud to be a Hoosier, and I've lived here my entire life. On behalf of most Hoosiers, I would like to apologize for our poor behavior. I'm sure the Pacers had nothing to do with that. Well, let me explain the Coug to you. The Coug comes to Colts games and doesn't stand for the national anthem. That's what he does. Now, once he did that, I eliminated the Coug from having any say in anything the great state of Indiana, my home state, my city, Indianapolis, does. Nothing. Zero. Zip. The Coug can suck it. Got a nice text from McAfee the other day talking about thank you because I was very vocal about how the Coug can suck it. The Coug has been known, and he did this to a friend of mine, to kick elderly people in wheelchairs out of elevators at Assembly Hall or wherever it was so that he could get his little entourage into an elevator while others had to wait. The Coug's a jackass. My peeps, my sister, would go to parties because the kids were the same age, birthday parties in Bloomington. While the Coug was sitting outside drinking and smoking with his jackass Hill Jack friends from Seymour, Indiana. The Coug's a jackass. He did marry well, though. His first wife, Elaine, awesome. I don't know if his first wife, third wife, Elaine, awesome. Fantastic. Love that woman. Very nice. But the Coug can, in 2 words, suck it. Coug my ass. Got anything else? I don't think I do. But I'll give you those. That's all he needed. Suck it and my ass. That's what I got to say to the Coug. Look, Hoosier hospitality, sure. That's what we say we have. But like every other place that has to have a slogan about hospitality, we're full of shit. Everybody is, in my opinion. So McAfee had to then acknowledge that he was the someone that the Coug was angry about. Of course he was the someone that the Coug was angry about. My advice to the Coug is, hey, man, you don't like it? Stay your ass home. I mean, that's pretty simple. Just stay your ass home. Don't come here with your arrogant anti-American stupidity and make us have to listen to you simply because Pat McAfee did what Pat McAfee does. God dang it, which is entertain the masses. Don't need that out of you. I don't want to hear that out of you. That's what Pat was asked to do, and Pat did it perfectly. Perfectly. Here is McAfee acknowledging he is the someone in this little debate.
Now, when the Knicks are playing in Gainbridge, I believe there is going to be some booze. There might be some negative things said towards the other team.
I hope not.
There might be.
It better not be.
That is kind of how sports work, I think.
Not if we're there.
Well, now, going forward, we are going to be an agent of only good things at sports stuff happening. Only positive cheers going forward, because that will make John Cougar Mellencamp happy.
Mm-hmm.
What a moment for John Coug yesterday.
Oh, you mean Hoosier hospitality?
What's that?
You mean Hoosier hospitality?
That's right. In quotes like this.
Mr.
Coug Mellencamp. I don't know what he thought he was doing with that particular quote tweet. I respect and appreciate the fact that he said, you know what? I've made a pretty good living over the last few years, grandstanding higher than anybody else on everything.
Yeah.
This feels like a good time to do that right now. And he puts out this horrendous quote tweet. I mean, this horrendous graphic. John, can't tell you how bad everything you did here was. Everything. The graphic, the quote, the timing. You're 2 days late, John. You're 2 days late, bub. Puts this thing out there. Doesn't even say my name.
No.
John, shut the up. Okay?
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. Hey, John. You know what I didn't hear from John Cougar Mellencamp? What I didn't hear from Johnny Cougar Mellencamp, as my buddy C. Fitch said, is Hoosier hospitality 5 years ago burning down buildings, burning down people's businesses, destroying property that wasn't yours? I never heard John Cougar Mellencamp say a damn thing, not one damn thing, about burning down buildings, about destroying cities here in Indianapolis, about the murder of Chris Beatty. He was called Mr. Indiana. He loved Indiana, former football player at Indiana, as he was trying to help a woman who was being robbed by 2 of these vicious thugs. Now, I didn't hear the Coug say anything about that, but the Coug's all up in arms about what? Pat McAfee saying, take their ass back, whatever he said. That's what we're upset about, as our entire city burned, and it still has not recovered. We try to fake you here in Indianapolis. I was downtown the other day. If you go downtown, the buildings that were burned up and the businesses that had to leave are now boarded up with little fancy stuff on them to make it seem as if there is a business in there. The Starbucks that was famously on the corner of Market and the Circle and Monument Circle, gone. Why? Thugs kept breaking windows. What are you talking about, Coug? How about get involved in something real? Yes, I know Farm Aid is great, and you've done a lot of good things. But our city basically burned to the ground. I didn't hear shit out of you. I didn't hear about that being non-Hoosier hospitality-like. You're full of shit, Coug. You don't like America, and all of a sudden you're going to try to stand up, pound your chest, and tell us what it is. And Reggie Miller, you're full of shit too. Reggie Miller made sure he let people know that he was on the side of the Coug. Yeah? Only real Hoosiers know what this man means to Indiana. I'm a real Hoosier, Reggie. You're not. You lived here for a few years. House got burned down by your old lady. mean, what are you going to do? I've lived here my whole life, except for 10 years. Liar. 10 years I didn't. So 52 years I've lived here. I know what John Cougar means to here. I know what he meant. But once he started going anti-American, once he stopped standing up for the anthem, once he started commenting and preaching Springsteen like against our country because people actually had beliefs politically that were different than his, he can suck it. And Reggie Miller, you can too. Honest to God. Cougar's a true friend. From dinners, video shoots, tour bus jumping, to singing on stage. I've done it all with him, really. What have you done that's of any importance? I mean, let's go through Reggie Miller. Dinners, gives a shit. Bunch of rich guys going to eat. Video shoots, great. Who cares? What? Tour bus jumping. Wow. Hey, that's really important. To singing on stage. So far, what Reggie Miller mentioned was nothing. Hey, Reggie, how about the fact that he doesn't stand for the anthem? How about the fact that nobody spews more anti-American bullshit other than Springsteen than him on tour? How about the fact that he's horrific to normal people? How about the fact that he didn't even take care of his own damn kids? I mean, his kids get arrested. They're beating up 2-on-1 kids back in the day. I don't know where they're at now, but I don't care. They're a little thug pain in the ass. In fact, one of my son's friends said, yeah, HUD brings the weed. What? Yeah, HUD Mellencamp, he brings the weed to the party. Shut up, Coog. Shut the fuck up, Reggie. Shut up, both of you. Nothing but unconditional love for him and his family. Thank you for always being there for some of those late-night calls to vent about basketball back in the day. Really? You called the Coug? Hey, man, I'm depressed about basketball. Let me get Mellencamp on the phone. Really? That's who you got, Reggie? Just total bullshit. I mean, you want to talk about Hoosier hospitality? You got $8 bazillion, and your dumb hillbilly ass comes to a game wearing a white T-shirt. I mean, you're 70 years old. How about putting on a little bit something nice? Even I'll get you a nice OutKick shirt. No, I won't. I don't want you representing our country, Coug. I don't. Not even a little bit. Yeah, Hoosier hospitality is not looking like a frickin' pig. No wonder Brinkley left you. No wonder Meg Ryan had to change her face and then walk out on you. What are you doing, Coug? Hey, Coug, in the words of the great Pat McAfee, suck it. Hey, you enjoying the show so far? Are you? Are you? Hey, by the way, clip this and send it to McAfee. We got his back. Of course you are. Make sure you head on over to youtube.com/@OutKick/videos to like, comment, and subscribe. That way you never miss any of our great content. Did you like? I've gotten so many comments. We didn't get a big following. We didn't do a great number on the Barkley video, but, man, everybody in my orbit loved it. Everybody, and I want to say this publicly to all of our production team, man, they loved it. Oh, how well it was done. I really haven't heard from Charles. I don't know if he watched it, but, hey, long story short, I did, and I liked it. 13 minutes of greatness. Anyway, Pacers, let's continue the conversation. Yes, downtown was rock and roll and shaking and baking, but let's look at the odds by FanDuel on who would, my DraftKings, excuse me, good, on who would be in the finals. This goes as of June 1st. Pacers were plus 500. You could still get 5-1 odds on the Pacers to win this series. All right. Minus 700 is OKC. I'm going to take the Pacers. I took the Pacers to beat the Knicks. I took the Pacers to beat Cleveland. What am I going to stop now? Plus 500 seems like good cash. Look, here's the deal in this series. All right. Obviously, OKC has played great. Obviously, they've been the best team. I mean, when you look at them top to bottom, and more importantly, the way they play, this team is young, energetic, and the pieces fit. Pacers, same thing. Young, energetic, play fast, and the pieces fit. I said this at the time. One of the biggest unknown trades or acquisitions, I'm not sure how he got there, was a guy named Isaiah Hartenstein going from the Knicks to OKC. That dude is Seinfeld. What does that mean? Well, he's Jerry in Seinfeld. He is the guy that everybody comes around. He's a fit guy. That Dort guy, he's a fit guy. And then they got the stars. You know, we all know Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's great. But they got some pieces, and I just mentioned two of them, that make everything go. They don't care if they score. They're going to rebound. They're going to guard like hell. They're going to get the ball, set the screen to the right people at the right time all the time. And it's really good. Pacers got the same thing. See the kid right there? The kid right there with the headband on the Pacers white jersey? That's Andrew Nembhard. Andrew Nembhard had a really bad series shooting the basketball, but it didn't matter. Andrew Nembhard went mano-a-mano, baby, nose to nose with Jalen Brunson. I mean hard, boom, hard. And if you like basketball, you're going to like watching Nembhard against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Ain't going to stop him. Ain't going to stop him. But he is going to be in there battling like crazy, man. I mean battling. Huh. Oh, man, farewell, TNT. It's kind of sad. In fact, yesterday, I played golf, which seemingly I do every day. Came home, did a bunch of stuff around the house, and sat down. And I started scrolling. And I came across, because there's a bunch of them out there, whether it was Instagram. I never know where I go. Anyway, bunch of Chuck, Charles, and Chuck, Kenny, Ernie, and Shaq. A bunch of the clips. And, man, is it funny. When Charles Barkley starts talking about, man, them women, they're milking that baby thing. And his daughter, who had just had a baby, comes on and says, Dad, you're an idiot, basically. That's one of the funniest damn things of all time. That is unbelievable. The whole thing is great. But it's over on TNT. The run of Inside the NBA on TNT came to an end Saturday night. After nearly 4 decades as a fixture on the league, the show will move to ESPN ABC next season. Johnson, O'Neal, Kenny, and Charles will be together. Still doing most shows from Atlanta, but the final TNT send-off was an emotional one. It was really good. Many fans are nervous that WOKE ESPN will destroy that show. Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're going to do the same show, just put it on a different channel. And here's something I came across. Like, Charles and Shaq are perfect, yin and yang, big brother, little petulant guy who gets insecure, and Shaq, I want rings, and Charles, who doesn't give a shit. But the true star in that is Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith is a damn star. Kenny Smith is one of the best broadcasters in America. The more I watched, the more I thought, man, he is the perfect Robin to Barkley's Batman. I don't know what I would call Shaq, but Kenny Smith, man, he set Shaq up. Hey, Charles, why don't you ever buy a woman a watch? Because there's a clock on the stove. Kenny Smith is a genius. Yes, I know Shaq gets it all. Yes, I know Ernie. And they're all great. Yes, I know that Ernie gets the accolades. I know that. I know he gets the accolades for keeping it all together, moving it along, all that kind of stuff. I know. But Kenny Smith, if you really go watch those, he is a freaking genius. Here is Ernie Johnson signing off. 25 years they were on. Here he is.
Take your time. Several years ago, I wrote a book called Unscripted, and I asked people to embrace the unscripted, not fear the unscripted. If I had written the script, the NBA and TNT would be together forever. It's not going to happen. But while I was disappointed and I was sad, I was not bitter. We know how business works. Gratitude is the operative word for me. Grateful that, since 1989, I've been with this company. No matter what you call the company, I'll always be Turner. And I'm grateful that I work with you guys. I'm grateful for all of the relationships we've built professionally and personally through the years. You just don't realize that until you see people here on the road and say, hey, this is probably going to be it. And you think back to all the good times you had. So I'm grateful for that, and also grateful that we have members of our crew who are going to go work at NBC or work at Amazon. And you know how they got those jobs? Because their resume says NBA on TNT. So thank you. We have been honored to do this. And we look forward. Look, the four of us, as you've already heard, the four of us are going to be together. Our production crew is going to be together. It's going to be that same bunch. We're still going to be shooting that show in Atlanta. It's just going to air somewhere else. And so the craziness that you've seen, the nonsense and the foolishness and the top-notch basketball analysis, all of that stuff's going to be on. It's going to be on ESPN or ABC next year, not on TNT. For that, it's we're sad. But I'm proud to say for the last time, thanks for watching us. It's the NBA on TNT.
Yeah, I tell you what, Ernie Johnson's a total pro. I mean, he is a pro's pro. And this is what I like about their show as much as anything else. They built a family. They built a family in there. I had the opportunity right now to do it, and I kind of feel the same way, but we're in different places. But the people that work for us, we all work for OutKick, but the people that work for our show, I feel like, man, they're the best people going. But TNT did it for a long time, man. TNT did it for a long time, and if you really go back, it was really funny to watch Charles Barkley's first interview. He was so understated. He was sitting back. He wasn't nervous. Wasn't anything like that, but it certainly wasn't the Charles that you saw in the Olympics. It certainly wasn't the Charles that you've seen on TNT, but we all grow, we get comfortable, and we move it forward. But I do have to say, Kenny Smith is tremendous. He is absolutely he's a genius. He's a brilliant basketball mind. He is a brilliant setup guy. And when you watch their show, he is invaluable to the entire operation. Invaluable. It's not even close. He is the perfect guy. Sometimes you strike lightning in a bottle. TNT struck lightning in a bottle with Kenny Smith and that crew being right, and Kenny is a leader among them. Here is the final moments of TNT on the set with all the people. I'm telling you, man, you can tell. And you got to appreciate Ernie Johnson bringing it all together. And, I was talking to Charles about Ernie. He said, yeah, Ernie's kind of my grandfather mentor, Ernie and Clark Kellogg. And, you can tell that. Obviously, you can tell that. I mean, you have a grandson, daughter, and you're all excited. In fact, I'm thinking about stealing my kids' condoms and birth control pills so that I get some grandkids around here. But anyway, just fantastic camaraderie. But I tell you what, man, Kenny Smith is a broadcasting genius. He is. I mean, he's as good as anyone that's ever done it. I really believe that. I do. I just think it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely great. And the final moments on the set, in-house, all terrific. A lot of shows you wouldn't care about. A lot of shows, and see, that's what ESPN doesn't. Doesn't build it like that. We had that one time. Myself, Mike Tirico, Bart Fox, our producer, Scotty J, our director, Allison Williams, our sideline, and we had a great time. We had a great family. We cared for each other. We took care of each other. We literally ran on Monday nights to get to whatever. Get to whatever town we were doing a Big Ten game. Not for the game, but for the dinner. The drinks, the dinner, the laughs beforehand. It's fantastic. But a lot of people don't care about that. All right. I'm not sure that, I'm not sure y'all are going to be shocked to hear that another woman was stripped of a title from a trans athlete. This thing has gotten interesting, this whole trans athlete thing. The Democrats, the liberals told us, it doesn't happen. What do you mean it doesn't happen? Yeah, it doesn't happen. I think it happens. Feels like it happens. What? No, it doesn't happen. Now all of a sudden you're seeing California, Maine, over and over and over and over and over again it happens. A boy competing under the name Veronica Garcia stole a state title in the girls' 400 meter at the 2A Washington State Championship meet. Congratulations to Lauren Matthews, the real Washington State champion in the girls' 400 meter. I mean, the dude just went out and beat girls. My thing is this, the saddest thing that I see, the saddest, is the girls' faces when they look over and they got to run against some dude who's twice their size, built like a boy. And I got to tell you, I have a daughter. I have a stepdaughter. I have a wife. I have an ex-wife. I have a mother. I mean, I have a sister-in-law. Got a sister. And I would hate for them to have to line it up and look over there and there's a boy. Now, maybe, just maybe, younger people don't care. I don't know. But I think they do. I think they absolutely care. And I look at these girls' faces, and it just makes me incredibly sad. You know, little girls need to be protected. And I've said this forever, and I'll say it again. Before you get on my ass, understand this. Understand that, no. It is not about, absolutely, positively, not about you want to squelch people. You want to harm transgender. No, it's not. It's about fairness to girls. Why do we put the needs of transgender folks, very, 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 very minute population, over that of women? So my answer is always simple. You know my answer. If you've paid attention to me over the years, you know my answer. Go play with the boys. See how that works out for you. I don't know. Why has no transgender boy, girl, whatever, ever won a boys' state track meet? Why is that? But you're telling me that everybody's equal. Well, wait, what? Huh? What are you talking about? What, are you out of your mind? Not equal. Never have been, never will be. What the hell's wrong with you? But anyway, look at the girls on the podium when the rightful champ, Lauren Matthew, is announced versus when the boy who stole the state championship is announced. She's applauded, he's booed. Here it is.
Second place, Lauren Matthews. And first place, your 2025 winner, in a time of 55.70 from East Valley of Spokane, Veronica Garcia. Your girls 400 meter.
How do you sit there as an announcer and go girls 400 meters when a dude just won it? Look, I'm not for booing. Certainly not for booing or yelling at high school athletes, that kind of thing. I get it. I do. I understand. But damn, hard not to. And the dude with the microphone, then the girls 400 meter. Wait a second. That's not the girls 400 meter. That's the boys 400 meter. Boy won the 400 meter playing against girls. I cannot believe. And I always say this, if you went back 10 years ago, you're like, what are we doing? Wait, that's a guy on that podium. Why are we celebrating that guy beating girls after all that girls have been through to try to participate in sports? The answer is, I don't know. Because liberals are fucking idiots. How about that? They're dumbasses. They're people of no character, people of no heart. And don't tell me it's the other way. It's not. Again, you want to race? Go race with the boys. Why is that such a problem? I don't know. There's nobody that's going to stop you. Hey, I'm transgendering. I'm a boy. I'm transgendering to a girl. Go with the girls. I'm a girl. I'm transgendering to a boy. Go with the boys. Everybody go with the boys. I said, girls, go with the boys. It ain't that effing hard. It really isn't. All right, Jamie Dimon, CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase. Whoa, went off. Wait a second. Are people waking up? Went off on the woke progress policies of the modern Democratic Party. Really? Wait a second, Jamie. Somebody's going to get mad at you. Greggy Doyle might write an article. Somebody might get pissed. And the countless failures of the Biden regime while speaking at the Reagan National Economic Forum, isn't it about time the Democrats got off their ass and realized how freaking stupid they are? I don't know. How about being held accountable for disastrous actions like the one you just saw where a boy beats girls in a state championship? Here's a little bit from this guy, Dimon, whatever the hell his name is. Good for him.
Immigration, what the hell were we doing? You know, the bottom 20% of our population, Their wages didn't go up for 20 years. They're dying 7 years younger. When administrations, the Biden administration is giving all this money to EVs and cars and wasting a lot of money on green stuff, which isn't going to work, and all that. Do you think people in rural cities, do you think people in inner cities thought they were getting anything? Do you think that those people think that the American government is fair and competent and that this was in their best interest? Their schools don't work. They're not getting the skills they need, and you heard that just now. So we got to acknowledge these. And I also call it blue tape because, Republicans, you generally don't like red tape. You understand the devastation of it. But, most Democrats, they love it. They want more of it. And they want to make it so confusing you can't even meet the rules, so you get punished and fined afterwards. And so... and then you have it in permitting, and I call the government the Leviathan that's too weak, can't get stuff done, and too strong. It imposes things on the American public that they're getting sick of, and they should be getting sick of it. And acknowledge that, celebrate our virtues: freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of enterprise, equal opportunity, family, God, country.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. Common sense ain't so common no more. And the Democrats are out of their mind. Dimon's criticism of Biden and his political left obsessions with illegal immigration and punishing American citizens in order to fulfill, an ideological agenda are completely accurate. So many of today's problems can be traced back to the progressive takeover of the Democratic Party, turning it into a far-left movement that has made quality of life worse everywhere it went. Let me ask you a question. Where has it made it better? Well, the Dreamers came in here. Yeah, is that right? I mean, for some reason, we did have policies on immigration. For some reason, we did have rules on how to become a citizen, how to legally get in our country. I mean, I don't know. For some reason, we had those since damn near the beginning of the country. But these idiots, these thieves, they decided to waive all that. They decided to make our country a mess. Why? Well, I think I know why. If you look at the bank accounts of all these dumbasses, whether it's Schumer or Pelosi or Biden or any of the leaders, Bernie Sanders, who very arrogantly and honest to God, what a set of nuts on him, going around telling people about the oligarchy where he owns mansions and flies around in private planes and simply says, I am not apologizing for that. I'm going to do it. Okay, well, that's great. All the while ripping everybody that dare take a stand against him, canceling him, trying to get him to lose jobs, that kind of thing. They're horrible people. They're the worst among us. And it's good that some, but not all, have started to speak out. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. I've been through it. Oh, somebody wrote an article in the USA Today. Oh, my God, what am I going to do? Guy at ESPN got mad at me. Girl at ESPN. So what? More should stop me. It's just common sense. Remember when Biden et al. Said as a president he couldn't close the border? How long did it take Donald Trump to close the border? A minute? Second? Hey, put your hand in the Bible. You're now president. Good, let me sign this. Border closed. They lie, they cheat, they steal. And it's sad, really. But it ain't stopping. It's not. You would think it would. You would think that the American people would say, wait, but still, Kamala Harris got a bunch of votes. How did you possibly vote for that idiot without yourself being an idiot? I don't know the answer. All right. Kenny Dillingham is the new flavor of the day. Arizona State. He had that good running back, so they'll be around last year, and then they'll be gone. But anyway, is he full of shit or is he on to something? The young Arizona State football coach boldly believes his program will be the next Clemson or Oregon. All right. That's great. Indiana coach Kurt Cignetti said that we are, at Indiana, the emerging superpower. I think there's like a little, if you are not Ohio State, Texas, that kind of thing. I think there was a summit for the next level-ish guys that Dillingham and Cignetti and others went to. And at that summit, they said, you must talk about your program as a superpower. You must talk about your program as the next great thing. It's just what you must do. Now, for the older guys, the Tennessee, sure, Texas, Ohio State, those guys, they went to a meeting, I think, and it said we got to make sure that we kiss players' asses. Like I saw that clown, Steve Sarkisian, talking about, I want Arch Manning to have a good experience. Oh, shut up. You want Arch Manning to win your games. If you don't win your games, you ain't going to have a job, son. So here's what Dillingham said. You can build something very, very unique. Every 10 years, a team shows up on the map. They're a blue blood to the next generation. They're not a blue blood to the people my age, but they're a blue blood to the 10-year-olds, 11, 12, who eventually we are going to recruit. You have Clemson this last cycle, 2010 to 20. They just showed up. People think they've been around forever. You have Oregon, 2000 to 2010. You can go back in history, figure out what teams have shown up in which area. There hasn't been a team in this area in the 2020s. ASU, in his first year in the Pac-12, won a conference with a dominant victory over Iowa State in Arlington. Then had the Texas Longhorn beat until the referee stepped in to take it away. That was bullshit. All of a sudden, ASU went from 50, 60 ranked recruiting class to number 19 per on 3 so far, 2026. That's how it starts. And Dillingham, clearly already one of the best coaches, could be the guy to build it quickly. I'll tell you what else he has. He's got a great spot to do it, man. Got a great spot. I remember walking around that campus. You know, people always say to me, your dream job was to be the head coach at Indiana. No, well, first, my dream job was to be shortstop of the Chicago Cubs. Second dream job, press secretary of the United States. Third dream job was Arizona State. I was on that campus one time recruiting, and I'm like, damn, look at this joint. Now, there's a little too many people for me, maybe, and the weather's too hot, but hey, I don't know. I've never understood why Arizona State shouldn't be among the best in the country at everything. Baseball always ruled the roost, right? Baseball was always very good. Football, not so much. Basketball, But man, oh man, long story short, what a spot. And it seems like Kenny Dillingham is the right guy for the job. Is he the next Urban Meyer, young coach that gets it all done? I don't know. But certainly had a hell of a year this past year. Certainly did a great job this past year and certainly has everything there. Now, we'll see what happens. Here's a memo to college coaches. Like my guy Kurt Signetti here was begging, pleading for money, talking to fans at Hubler's Farms, a traditional stop for IU basketball and football coaches during the offseason. And he's begging people that, make a few bucks to give him money. And I thought to myself, yo, Signetti. And he reached out to fans and he said, hey, how good do you fans want to be? Well, my thought is you're making $9 million living in Bloomington. Now, Bloomington, the cost of living, it ain't New York, it ain't Chicago, it ain't L.A., it ain't even Indy. You can buy a beautiful house, a stately estate, for about $750,000. That's bigger than anything you can buy anywhere else. Small town. Why don't you give your money? Why don't you donate your money? Why don't you make an announcement that you're giving $2 million to NIL? Now, I don't know legally or illegally, but I do know this. That's what the Gundy guy. I'm a man, I'm 40. That's what Gundy at Oklahoma State did. And how about this? Instead of taking all these bonuses, college coaches, why don't you give these bonuses back to the people that gave you money? Let's say, for example, somebody gave you $500,000. No, that's a pretty good chunk of change. Somebody gives you $500,000. Why don't you give it back to them if you make a $500,000 bonus? I mean, that seems good. Or why don't you match it? Somebody gives you $20,000. Why don't you match it? Let's say the Dakich family gives Indiana football $20,000. Why doesn't the Signetti family match it from one of your bonuses? I mean, honest to God. How much NIL money does it take to be the ranked team? We'll find out this year, I think. But I sit there and I listen to these college coaches beg, plead, whine. Hubler's Farm has a bunch of – there's some rich dudes in there. There's some drunken old Southern Indiana clowns that do something, put their name on a building or whatever in Indiana. I get it, like Mellencamp. It's the Mellencamp Center. But the vast majority of people are hardworking people. And here comes this arrogant football coach. How good do you want to be? I'll tell you what. If I give $10,000, you match it with one of your bonuses because of the $10,000 I gave, which got Slapdick Johnny to come play football in Indiana. It's a pretty good idea I had. We'll be right back.